They all seem like brocade curtains and silk drapes. The pine and cypress kiosk. The magnolia kiosk. Facing the rose bush kiosk. Both resemble a green city's embroidered veils. The Xiaoyao rails. The peony groves. Their flowers vie for denseness in purple and red. The Yaha terrace. The white jasmine fence. Both bring forth grace and glamour year after year. The magnolia, adorned with drops of dew, should be sketched or drawn. The hibiscus blazing red toward the sky, should be hymned or sung. Speaking of scenery, let's not boast of Langyuan or Penglai. To compare such beauty, one need not count Yao's yellow or Wei's purple. In late spring, when one fences with grass, this garden lacks only divine blooms of jade. The elder, walking hand in hand with the fiend to enjoy the garden, could hardly look at all the rare flowers and exotic plants. After going past many arbors and kiosks and entering gradually, as it were, the lovely scenery, he saw all at once that they had arrived in front of the peach orchard. Pilgrim gave his master's head a pinch, and the elder knew immediately what he meant. Flying up to one of the branches, Pilgrim with one shake of his body changed into a peach, a lovely red one. The elder said to the monster spirit, "Lady, you have here fragrant blooms in the yard, ripened fruits on the boughs, fragrant blooms in the yard that bees vie to sip, ripened fruits on the boughs that birds fight to pluck. But why is it that on this particular peach tree the peaches are both red and green?" With a giggle, the monster spirit said, "When heaven is lacking in yin and yang, the sun and the moon will not shine. When the earth is lacking in yin and yang, male and female cannot be distinguished. The same principle applies to the fruits of this peach tree. Those on the sunny side are ripened first by the warmth, and that's why they are red. Those on the shady side will grow but without the benefit of the sun, and that's why they are still green. This is the principle of yin and yang. I thank my lady for the instruction," said Tripitaka. For this humble cleric indeed had no idea this was so. He immediately reached forward and plucked a red peach, and the monster spirit too went and plucked a green one. Bowing, Tripitaka presented the red peach to the fiend, saying, "Lady, you are fond of colors, so please take this red peach. Give me the green one to eat." The monster spirit indeed exchanged it with him, saying in secret delight to herself, "Dear monk, a true man indeed. We aren't husband and wife even for one day, and he's already so affectionate." Her delight, in fact, caused her to behave more cordially than ever to the Tang monk. When he took the green peach and began eating it at once, the monster spirit was only too pleased to keep him company. Opening her cherry lips to reveal her silvery teeth, she was about to take a bite. But Pilgrim's son had always been impetuous. Before she could sink her teeth into the fruit, he immediately rolled inside her mouth and somersaulted through her throat down to her stomach. Terribly frightened, the monster spirit said to Tripitaka, "Oh elder, this fruit is really something. How could it roll down there before I even bit it?" "Lady," said Tripitaka, "a newly ripened fruit is most edible. That's why it goes quickly. But I haven't even spat out the pit," said the monster spirit. "And it has gone down already." "When you're in such an excellent mood, lady," replied Tripitaka, "you have a good appetite. That's why it goes down even before you manage to spit out the pit." In her stomach, Pilgrim changed back to his true form and cried, "Master, don't banter with her. Old monkey has already scored." "Disciple, do try not to be too harsh," replied Tripitaka. Hearing that, the monster spirit said, "Whom are you talking to?" "To my disciple, Sun Wukong," replied Tripitaka. "Where is Sun Wukong?" asked the monster spirit. "In your stomach, of course," replied Tripitaka. "Isn't he the red peach you just ate?" Horrified, the monster spirit said, "Finished. Finished. If this ape head has crawled inside my belly, I'm as good as dead. Pilgrim's son, what do you plan to do after using all your schemes and plots to get inside my belly? Not much, replied Pilgrim spitefully inside her. I'll just devour your 6 loaves of liver and lung, your triple-haired and 7-holed heart. All 5 viscera I'll clean out. 1 rattling spirit you'll become. On hearing this, the monster spirit was scared out of her wits. Trembling all over, she embraced the Tang monk to say, "Oh, elder, I thought we were fated to be by one scarlet thread bound. 2 hearts as one like fish in water found. Who knows birds of love will thus be parted, that spouses will sever broken-hearted. Our affair fails for blue bridge tide is high. Our meeting's vain as temple incense dies. Drawn to each other we must now disperse. Which year will I once more with you converse?" Inside her belly Pilgrim heard her speaking in this manner, and he was afraid that the compassionate elder might be deceived again. At once he began to wave his fists and stamp his feet, to assume boxing postures and do gymnastic exercises with his 4 limbs, nearly punching through her leather bag in the process. Unable to endure the pain, the monster spirit dropped to the ground and dared not speak for a long time. When Pilgrim found that she was silent, he thought that she might be dead and decided to ease up somewhat. Catching her breath, she cried, "Little ones, where are you?" When those little fiends, you see, entered the garden, they all knew how to behave. Instead of congregating in one place, they scattered to play, plucking flowers or fencing with grasses so as to allow the monster spirit to flirt freely with the Tang monk. When they suddenly heard the summons, they ran to the spot and found the monster spirit fallen to the ground, pale and groaning, hardly able even to crawl. Hurriedly they tried to raise her as they crowded around, all asking, "Mistress, what's wrong? Are you having a heart attack?" No, replied the monster spirit. "Don't ask, but I have someone in my stomach. Just get this monk out, quickly, so that my life may be preserved." Those little fiends indeed went forward and tried to pull the elder out. "Don't any of you dare raise your hand," yelled Pilgrim inside her belly. "If you want to, you yourself must present my master to the outside world. When we get there, I'll spare you." The monster spirit, of course, had no other motivation than pity for her own life. Struggling to her feet, she swiftly placed the Tang monk on her back and strode toward the outside. Running after her, the little fiends asked, "Mistress, where are you going?" The monster spirit said, "Let's get this fellow outside. If we the moon above the 5 lakes retain, there's always a spot to drop the hook again. Let me find someone else instead, dear monster spirit." She mounted the cloudy luminosity and immediately reached the entrance of the cave, where a loud clangor of arms could be heard. "Disciple," said Tripitaka, "I can hear the sound of weapons outside." Pilgrim said, "It has to be 8 rules wielding his muckrake. Call him." Tripitaka at once called out, "8 rules." 8 rules heard him and said, "Sha monk, master has come out." The 2 of them removed the rake and the staff, and the monster spirit carried the Tang monk outside. "Aha! Truly it is that mind monkey, responding within, subdues a fiend. Wood and earth guarding the door, receive a sage monk. We do not know whether the monster spirit will preserve her life. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter.